Carry on. The former president of Russia, Medvedev, tried to unsettle the Japanese government about energy supply through natural gas and crude oil exportation in Sakhalin, and he resisted new anti-Russia energy supply sanctions considered by G7 over Russian petroleum, and he said to Japan publicly agreeing to economic sanctions against Russia. Japan will not be able to get gas and petroleum from Russia shortly. So Medvedev seemingly indicated exclusion of Japanese companies from natural gas and crude oil exportation from Sakhalin. So the possibility of securing Japan's energy supply source from Russia will come to be more unclear than before now. And G7 is now considering upper limit for transaction price of Russian petroleum. And in response to this sanction, Medvedev insisted that the transaction amount of petroleum around the world will reduce, and its price will be way more expensive in the energy market in the world. So, if Russia reduced energy exportation as one of the retaliation measures against this energy sanction from G7s, there will be the risk that international energy price will sharply go up. So G7 should be considering this sanction very carefully. So according to Russian news agency TASS, executives of a Russian national gas company called Gazprom suggested forcing unfriendly countries, including Japan, to purchase liquefied natural gas with Russian ruble. And Japan is now importing LNG from Sakhalin, and Japan is the largest shareholder of Gazprom. And if suggestion from Gazprom was approved by the Russian government, Japan would receive a big economic impact on it. So Russia has accelerated pressure to Japan for this week. And recently Putin signed on the presidential directive document that orders assets of the managing company of Sakhalin's second gas exportation business to a new company with a free transfer of shares. So foreign companies will need to notify if they would like to agree with share acquisition of a new company based on the condition suggested by the Russian government within 1 month from the day of the establishment of a new company. And the investment ratio of Japanese companies to Sakhalin's second energy exportation business is like 12.5% by Mitsui and 10% by Mitsubishi. And 9% of LNG that Japan supplies is from Russia. And the majority amount of LNG out of this 9% is from Sakhalin. If Japan lost LNG by companies retreating investments of Sakhalin energy exportation, it will tend to be at the high risk of reducing supply of electronics and petrols for cars and vehicles. For that reason, Japan has ever showed its policy for postponement of sanctions against natural gas and crude oil and maintain the vested interests of Sakhalin's second energy exportation at the same time that it has showed its attitude to assert stepwise embargo of crude oil and coal from Russia and cooperate with other members of G7 for the energy sanction against Russia. However, the possibility of maintenance of interests of Sakhalin's second energy exportation business is now unpredictable for Japan, though it is not that easy to retreat investments of Sakhalin energy exportation business from Russia when we think about the influence to Japanese economy and Japanese society brought by the situation where we completely lost the route to get LNG from Russia. So, moreover, there is no room to know whether Russia will approve if Japan raises its hand to acquire the shares of a new company newly managing Sakhalin second exportation business from now. So Japan is a member of G7, so it had already predicted, it had already noticed that this would happen as of the timing. The situation between Ukraine and Russia took a dark turn a couple months ago. So, and also Japan has been put great pressure on dilemma between domestic economy and execution of justice against the war-starting country. So Japan also needs to keep a good pace with the other countries diplomatically as one of the member of G7s. So realistically, there is no way that Japan can fix a good relationship with Russia from now. So I think if thinking this way, Japan doesn't have any choice, but it has to minimize the risk and damage caused by retaliation measures from Russia. So it is not realistic as countermeasure against retaliation measures from Russia in the sense of whether it can prepare it right away at this point of time or not. But Japan is now driven into serious situation where it has to consider prepare for domestic energy resource exploitation for itself, for the backup and a contingency.